Hello students, and in this part of the chicken hunt video lecture, we're going to make the chicken setup. So we're going to do the scripts as the visual part has been done in the previous lecture. So what we have done, we have basically added a costume of a dead chicken, and that's it for the visual part. What we have to do now is we have to set up the scripts for our chicken so it works fine, okay? The first script we're going to do is we're going to make some initial settings for our chicken. They include the size, the variable part, and some other visual stuff. So we have to create a variable called hits. So this variable is going to store the number of chicken we hit with our gun. Okay. So in the beginning of our game, the hits variable should be 0 because we have just started our game and no chicken have been shot so far. Okay, so we have to set the hits to 0. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to place our chicken to the right part of the screen so that the clones created by this chicken will spawn on the same right side. Okay, about the clones we're going to talk a little bit later. So we're going to go to X something like 240, and Y here doesn't actually matter, so you can just leave it whatever it is. The looks part, let us make our chicken something like 70 maybe percent. Yes, this 70 looks very, very good. So we're just going to set size to 70. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to hide our chicken. Why hide our chicken? Because the main chicken is going to be hidden, only its clones are going to spawn and the clones are going to take some further action, okay? So this chicken sprite is responsible only for creating the clones. Next sprite we're going to do is when we receive the start message, we're going to create these clones, okay? So we're going to repeat, for example, 30 times with some random interval, we can say. So we can wait for 1 second for whatever seconds you want, but I would recommend picking something random between maybe 1 and 3. And then we're going to create some clones. Create a clone of myself. So these clones are going to act separately from this sprite, okay? But how? We have a special event called when I start as a clone. So this event handles all the actions of clones. So the main sprite creates the clones, and then these clones take some independent actions, okay? So when I start as a clone, we're going to set some random y. So we're going to set y to something random between 160 and minus 160, I guess, so that no chicken can go beyond or beneath the scene, the backdrop. So we have to limit their y a little bit. And then we're going to handle one situation. This block is going to wait until the x of our chicken becomes less than minus 230. But why would we need that? This script is going to handle the spawn of the clones, and also it will handle the situation when our chicken runs away. So it goes through the entire screen like this, and then it runs away and we didn't shoot it. It means we're going to, for example, lose a life or whatever it is, or lose some point. So we're going to wait until the x of our chicken becomes less than, for example, minus 230. And after that, we're going to delete our clone. This is very easy script. So it handles the spawn of our clones, and then if our chicken runs away, it's going to get deleted. Next thing we're going to do with the chicken is we're going to make the animation and the movement sprite, okay? The movement script, I'm sorry. For this, we're going to require the same when I start this clone block. Let me place them neatly so that it's comfortable to look. So when I start as a clone, my chicken is going to show. Why show? Because when the flag is clicked, the main chicken is hidden. So the clones actually take all the qualities of the original sprite, but they act independently. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to show our chicken. After that, we're going to switch our costume to the first one. So they are listed from 1 to 15. So we're going to switch it to the first costume. After that, we're going to make a very complicated check. So we're going to repeat something until we get hit, okay? So for this, we're going to use two AND blocks. As you can see, there's only one condition. For example, we can repeat something until our sprite touches the edge or touches another sprite. But if we need more conditions, we can use this AND block where we can put two conditions, one on the left side and second one on the right side. But here we actually need three conditions. That's why we're going to add one more AND. The first condition is going to be mouse down. So what does it mean? It means when we just click our mouse. Second thing is we need to check if our chicken is touching the crosshair. So if we're pointing on the chicken on the click time or not. Because if we shoot somewhere else and our chicken dies, it's not fair, right? And the last thing we're going to check is if we didn't run out of ammo, because our ammo is going to be limited in this game. So for this, we're going to require another variable that's going to be called ammo. So we're going to check if our ammo is above 0 or not. Okay, what we're going to repeat until we get shot. We're going to change the costumes of the chicken and move. So we're going to basically animate it and move it, okay? So as you have noticed, we have 15 costumes of a chicken and the last one is actually dead. So how do we use the costumes for flying separately from the dead one? For this, we actually have a very interesting algorithm. Just have a look. We need this if then else block, and whenever our costume number is 14, so we have to compare the costume numbers, or whatever it is, your last costume which is not basically dead. So in my case, it's from 1 to 14, and the 15th one is the dead one. So I'm going to change them from 1st to 14th, okay? So we're going to check this costume number, and if it is equal to 14, then we're going to change the costume to the first one. Okay, and also we shouldn't forget about that we have to move our chicken. So we have to change our x by, for example, -5. Also, we have the else part of this block. What we have to do, this else part is going to switch the costumes also. So any case when our costume is not 14th one, we're going to get the next costume. And we also have to move our chicken. So these both cases, they basically move our chicken and they handle the costume animations. So now we can have a check of this. Actually, we do not need this ammo seen here. We just need the hits. Oh, and there is actually a little problem. What is this problem? This problem is that our chicken, they keep going backwards. So this looks rather weird. So let us just take a block so that our chicken, they have to point in direction -90. Oh, now they started to fly with their belly up. How can we handle this? We can set their rotation style to left and right. Okay, so now our chicken, they fly correctly, and that's almost all we need so far. But this script is not complete because we need to handle one more situation. This situation is when we get hit. So this animation and this movement, they're going to work until we get hit. So until the mouse is down and our chicken is touching the crosshair and we still have ammo, it means that we have shot our chicken dead. In this case, our chicken is going to change its costume to the chicken number 15, which is the dead one here. Also, we're going to change this hits counter by 1 because we have killed the chicken and our hits counter should increase. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to handle the animation of our chicken once again, but this animation is going to be different. This animation will be for chicken falling down. So we're going to repeat something like maybe 10 times. Wait for some small amount of time between the frames, for example, 0.05 seconds. And we're going to change their y, for example, by minus 15, or maybe by minus 20, something like that. Or what can we do? We can repeat until, yeah, this will be a lot better. We can repeat until the the y of our chicken becomes less than minus 160. We need the y of our chicken. So whenever our chicken falls down for like this level, it's going to disappear. Okay, wait for 0.05 seconds, change y by minus 20. After that, we're going to delete our clone. Well, this is it for the chicken part. We cannot actually test it at this step because we haven't done anything for our crosshair or for our ammo. So we're going to check it a little bit later. This is it for the chicken part once again. In the next lessons, we're going to make the crosshair and the ammo. See you in the next part of the lecture.